The morning signifies in many ways a hope, a change, and also for people to decide who their chief minister is going to be. Remember that it's going to be 24 assembly constituencies, phase 1 this morning. And from the feedback I have on the ground, speaking to people, whether in South Kashmir, Srinagar, elsewhere, there's no boycott call right now, at least not in the Kashmir Valley, where once there were boycott hubs. People have said they want to come out in large numbers. They want to elect their leader who will take their issues ahead. 24 assembly constituencies, and the focus is very important. Largely today, whether it's Kishtwar in Jammu or Pulwama in South Kashmir, the focus will be on on the seats on which these individuals will be elected. There's PDP Iltija Mufti, PDP's Wahid Para from South Kashmir. Remember, then there is also about Jammu region. Kishtwar is very important. It's the border area also where all of these, the decisions that are going to be taken. So let's begin. As we bring you the special telecast from J&K, our colleagues are on the ground as well. What's happening on the ground? It's a big day for J&K, and the details that we have as the polling is set to begin now in these 24 assembly constituencies. The first report that's coming to you right now about the constituencies, we are talking about 23 lakh voters to decide the fate of 219 candidates today. J&K is witnessing, remember, the first assembly elections, and why this is important is Article 370 abrogation, delimitation, state to union territory, reservation system that's been modified. So there are a lot of issues, and of course on the ground issues like unemployment, drug menace and inflation. Now BJP pitted against Congress National Conference Alliance. Both parties ran a coalition government from 2008 to 2014 under Omar Abdullah. Jammu Kashmir was a state then. Farooq Abdullah-led NCA has promised restoration of autonomy, Article 370 statehood. Congress has promised statehood full restoration in Jammu and Kashmir, and so has the BJP. So every party has mentioned statehood will return, but when? Nobody has promised a timeline. Election Commission has made special polling arrangements for displaced Kashmiri Pandits, the refugees in specifically Jammu and other areas as well. The Congress also is, remember, aiming specifically for many of these refugee voters too. Who are the focused areas right now for the displaced Pandits? Delhi, Jammu, Udhampur, for them to cast their vote.
इस खूबसूरत राज्य को परिवारवाद ने खोखला करना शुरू कर दिया। यहां जिन राजनीतिक दलों पर आपने भरोसा किया, उन्होंने आपके बच्चों की चिंता नहीं की। उन राजनीतिक दलों ने सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपने बच्चों को आगे बढ़ाया। जम्मू कश्मीर के मेरे नौजवान आतंकवाद में पिसते रहे और परिवारवाद को आगे बढ़ाने वाली पार्टियां आपको गुमराह करके मौज काटती रही। इन लोगों ने जम्मू कश्मीर में नए नेतृत्व को कभी भी उभरने ही नहीं दिया।
यहां आतंकवाद को फिर से मजबूत करने की एनसी कांग्रेस ने कुछ वादे भी ऐसे किए हैं। उनकी सरकार आएगी तो इन आतंकवादियों को छोड़ देंगे। मैं आज मां के स्थान के सामने आप लोगों को कहकर जाता हूं, ये नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार है, किसी की हिम्मत नहीं है भारत की भूमि पर आतंकवाद को फंसाना।
कोई चीज नामुमकिन नहीं है ना। अगर ये नामुमकिन होता तो जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने 3 बार 370 के हक में फैसला किया तो उस वक्त नामुमकिन क्यों नहीं था? जब बीजेपी को राजीव गांधी के उस ऐतिहासिक कामयाबी में लोकसभा में सिर्फ 2 एमपी थे, तब नामुमकिन क्यों नहीं था? ना, ये अल्लाह ताला का कोई फैसला नहीं था, ये लोगों का फैसला था। पार्लियामेंट के जरिए ये फैसला लिया गया है। पार्लियामेंट का कोई भी फैसला तब्दील हो सकता है।
ये इंतखाबात अवामी मफाद में तब्दीली कैसे ला सकते हैं, हालांकि अब 2019 के बाद शायद कुछ बचा नहीं है।
यही तो बात है, यही तो इलेक्शन है जिसमें ये वापस लाना पड़ेगा, स्टेटहुड वापस करनी पड़ेगी और 370 की जंग हमें लड़नी पड़ेगी।
It's being held after 10 years, and unfortunately, I think there are a lot of external forces which are trying to impact the elections and pre-decide the results.
दिल्ली की अदालत में एप्लीकेशन डाल रहा हूँ। मेरे खिलाफ इस बंदे ने इस तरह कहा कि ये 2 महीने पहले जेल से बाहर था। अगर सही था तो फिर जेल वालों के खिलाफ कार्रवाई होगी, अगर नहीं था तो उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई होगी। पहले मुझे बताइए, वो लोगों के भेड़ बिकने समझता है क्या? क्या ये पॉसिबल है? यहाँ थाने से मुंशी बाहर नहीं निकल लेता है, तिहाड़ जेल से कैसे पॉसिबल है? मेरी बेल घेरा को हुई। इस सवाल का जवाब देना अपने आप को अपना कद नीचे करने के बराबर।
हमारे पास सेंसिटिव बूथ्स 5 हैं और उसके अलावा हमारे 347 नॉर्मल बूथ्स हैं। इसके ऊपर हमने सिक्योरिटी के माकूल इंतजाम किए हुए हैं। उसकी हम डिटेल तो नहीं दे पाएंगे, लेकिन इतना बता सकते हैं कि अच्छे इंतजाम हैं। ओवरऑल जितनी भी सिक्योरिटी सिनेरियो उसको देखते हुए डोमिनेशन जो भी लगनी है, नाइट डोमिनेशन, डे डोमिनेशन, वो सारा लगा के हम ठीक से इंतजाम किए हुए हैं।
बेसिक फैसिलिटी जो इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया की गाइडलाइन है उसके मुताबिक सारी कर दी हैं। जैसे पोलिंग स्टेशन के ऊपर जो है वो हमारा पोलिंग पार्टीज जाएगी, उसका प्रॉपर वहाँ रहने का, खाने पीने का, और प्लस वेबकास्टिंग जो है वो वहाँ से हो रही है हर पोलिंग स्टेशन से, और जिसको कमीशन भी मॉनिटर कर रहा है और यहाँ पे कंट्रोल।
So let's begin then. This is, remember, in many ways a good example, because people may have different concerns, different grievances, but everyone said that they welcome that the elections are happening so they can elect their leader. Why is it important? Let me just take you a little background with who are the candidates. CPM's Mohammad Tarigami, Congress's G.A. Mir, National Conference's Sakina Ittu, PDP's Iltija Mufti, Wahid Para, DPAP's Abdul Wani. Also in Kishtwar, there is a BJP candidate, Shagun Parihar. And that's why I want to go across to Kamaljeet Sandhu. She's in Kishtwar. And Ashutosh Mishra is joining me from Delhi's Jammu and Kashmir house as well. Now, Kamaljeet, why do you think Kishtwar is very important today? It's a terror victim family that has got a ticket from the BJP. What are the chances looking like? What are the people saying? And importantly, are people of Jammu, of Kishtwar, out on and in the lines already? Kamaljeet.
Pooja, the festival of democracy has begun. People are queuing up for votes. We are at Shagun Parihar's home, and she has been praying since morning. But yes, she's going to, here she is, Shagun now obviously entering. That's the photograph of the father and of the uncle. Let's just have us. आप कितनी देर में वोट करने जा रही हैं और सबसे बड़ी इम्पोर्टेंट मिनट में और एक बार और आपसे बात करना चाहेंगे
आप प्लीज अब थोड़े टाइम के बाद जब मैं जाऊं तभी पूछ लीजिएगा.
So she's obviously now getting ready to cast her vote. At this point of time, she's already running late. But that's the father and the uncle. And at this point of time, let me tell you, this is a very interesting contest because she's up against National Conference. Sajjad Kichlu, a two-time MLA, is also against Firdaus Tak. He's the PDP MLC. So yes, at this point of time, where there is a tough contest, it's the Prime Minister Narendra Modi who's taken her name. So this is going to be a shot in the arm. But remember, she is a total political novice, just a new beginner. Somebody who's done MTech, somebody who's pursuing a PhD. So she has an educational background, and that is what she's saying is her strength, that this is going to be something she's going to go to the people. She will take up issues, whether it is regarding security, whether it is regarding giving better money, employment to people. So all these are issues which she thinks are issues close to people's heart. But when we're talking about 24 assembly constituents going to polls today, 8 of them are in Jammu segment, Kishtwar, including 1. But there's also, in terms of delimitation, 3 of the areas. So this is also going to be an issue where we'll see whether it's going to be the BJP dominating or what we saw in assembly segments that Congress was leading. But whatever the case be, This is going to be a test of fire, an Agni Pariksha for all the candidates, including Pooja Parihar. And this is where what we also see is South Kashmir cast its poll. And this is where we see Jamaat and obviously Engineer Rashid, people against whom several of the BJP candidates are putting up a big fight. So we'll see which way it goes, but a very interesting multi-layered contest with a lot of heavy security around. Now we'll just try and show you, just around here is also presence of security around, and obviously this is something, there has been an increase in militancy, violence, terrorism attacks. We've seen whether we're talking about target killings being done, whether we're talking about ambushes, and this is where security being a key concern. And BJP, and we've seen Prime Minister Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah coming and saying, please vote for us, because we are taking a huge leap of faith and obviously a fight right here. But it's up to the people now which way they go. And remember, there seems to be a huge division in terms of seats and delimitation as far as the numbers are concerned. This is where now
it's a reality of Jammu and Kashmir, isn't it? It's no ordinary election, and this is it needs security. While a lot has changed, there is this risk factor that still continues. And Kamaljeet has extensively reported across Jammu and Kashmir, so she understands perhaps and why. There's a reason she's mentioning the security. Remember, JKP, CAPF, Jammu and Kashmir Armed Police, all of that has been deployed, and of course paramilitary as well, to ensure that it's a smooth, safe, peaceful elections for one and all. 8 seats in Jammu, 16 in Kashmir today. This is for phase 1, and that's why it's very crucial, and that's why South Kashmir will hold a lot of significance. But I mean, all of this, it's not just about J&K. Kamaljeet, please stay on with me, because remember, J&K has seen a conflict of over 30 years. There's been ethnic cleansing, there have been targeted terror attacks, and then there are the Kashmiri Pandits. So there have been special booths that have been maintained and brought in. This is in Delhi, Jammu, Udhampur, for the displaced Kashmiri Hindus. So they may be away from their homeland, but at least they'll have an opportunity to vote. And that's where Ashutosh Mishra is, in the national capital, Delhi. Ashutosh, good morning. When you were in Kashmir 2019, you saw how there was this uneasy calm. Nobody was sure what was happening, but elections are happening now. That's definitely a relief. How are the arrangements in Delhi, and why that arrangement has been made?
And I remember, Pooja, the people, those who were in Delhi, the Kashmiri displaced, particularly the Kashmiri Hindus who celebrated abrogation of Article 370. This is perhaps also the time to turn up in a good number to cast their vote, to use their constitutional right. And in fact, one information for all our Kashmiri displaced people who are living in Delhi and NCR, there is a significant information. The information is, this is the J&K house. This is where 60 of such Kashmiri displaced people have been registered as a voter, and there are multiple such booths. Let me also give you some details about Shalimar Bagh, Arvachin International School, Dilshad Garden, and Paprava. So there are these places where the special arrangements have been made for the displaced Kashmiris to come out and vote. And here at Jammu and Kashmir House, where I see nearly 60 voters who are registered. So there are few even from Faridabad and all across Delhi. But little disappointment, Pooja, that I see that enthusiasm clearly lacking. The vote polling center has started at 7 o'clock, and even till now we're going to be nearly 9. But I don't see any turnout. But since it's a full day, available, the voting will take place at least till 5 p.m. We hope that at least our displaced Kashmiri brothers, the family members, who will come out in a good number. And right, they celebrated the abrogation. They talk about Kashmir. They talk about their right. This is also their right to utilize it. And unless you utilize your fundamental right, unless you come out and vote, that also gives you, and that only gives you to demand basic amenities from the government.
Absolutely. Eventually, it is about the voting is there for a reason. It's a democracy. Elect your leader, choose your leader, and then you can take your grievances. Even though I have to tell you, almost every individual I spoke to, whether in Srinagar, South Kashmir, or elsewhere across the valley, have said that leaders don't care once the elections are over, once they win. The doors are shut on them. Will that also change in the Naya Kashmir?